Hey guys, what's up? It's Spectral. I just wanted to make this quick little thing before the video even starts. That it's a blessing I'm even making this fucking video right now, and so just letting you guys know, just a reminder that I am taking November off, not from YouTube, but exclusively from live streaming. Now, I'm not saying like 100% honest about that because I might stream some of the Borderlands. Well, obviously, I'm gonna stream the Borderlands 1 DLCs whenever I can. I'm just gonna be able to. I'm gonna stream whenever I can and whenever I feel like it. So, yeah. Do not expect a Borderlands 2 playthrough. That is just gonna be something I just want to enjoy by myself. And and just ignore the shit back there. That's, yeah, so ignore that. But yeah, just a reminder. And I'm gonna try and get some scheduling stuff worked out with my work, because the schedule I have is just not it. And I'm just gonna try and get a new schedule that I want, and if that doesn't work, or if they completely reject that, then woe is me at that point, and I'll be doing whatever I can to stream, and that's why I really made the decision to take November off anyways. Not just because Borderlands 2, but I just need to relax and focus on other things. So yeah, I'm praying that tomorrow I can hopefully get something worked out with them. And yeah, so enjoy the video. What's up, bitches? This is Spectral, and welcome back to another tier list. So today we are going to be doing the Borderlands games tier list. Borderlands is one of my favorite franchises ever, and the majority of these games I do really like and just straight up love. So let's just get right into this. And I figured this one would be a lot easier since there's nowhere near as many as games as some of the other fucking franchises. And please ignore the Outer Worlds 2 stuff. Like, I've tried to, delete them, and they just keep popping up. I like, no one cares. But yeah, let's get started. This is my list. This is my opinion. So, but yeah, let's start with the first Borderlands. Now, Borderlands 2 was my introduction to Borderlands. Then I played the pre-sequel, and then I think I played Tales afterwards. So, and I played Borderlands 1, like, I don't know, a couple years after I first played 2. And, yeah. Sorry about that. Borderlands 1, even on this recent playthrough I did, is still the most 6 out of 10 game I've ever played. And why did I replay it? Well, I just wanted to see if it was better or worse than I remembered. So yeah, and plus I actually never played the DLCs. I don't know what to really expect from them. But again, as you saw from the thing in the beginning, I don't know when I'll get to those. It's just when I feel like getting to them, you know? So yeah. Borderlands 1, look, I respect what it has done. It really kickstarted the looter-shooter genre into the best looter-shooter series of all time. It set the foundation and set the household that was Borderlands 2, which we'll get in a minute. But even back then, this game was not that good. Okay? And first of all, let's just get the pros out the way. The shooting feels fine for the majority of the guns. The aesthetic is good, has a really Fallout feel to it compared to the rest of the series. Like a really big Fallout, Mad Maxy feel. I like the characters, and I like some of the enemies. Bosses were, meh. The game still looks good, kinda. but yeah, that's really all I have to say. The fucking story itself in this game is very bare bones. Again, it's like I said at the end of my part 6. It's like when you eat a chicken leg and there's still meat on it, but you don't want to eat that meat because it's very icky. And those that know. It's just not a lot of meat to the story. It's like it starts off decent, and it just kind of dwindles down. And Commander Steel, who is the main villain of this game, she doesn't really do a whole lot. Oh, she opened the vault, and meh. She was not a big presence in this game. You only get to really hear from her like 3 or 4 fucking times. So, yeah, I think also the fact that she's a siren just makes her such wasted potential. Such wasted potential. She could have been like a really good final boss, but nope, instead we got the Destroyer, which is a piece of shit final boss. And it's going to go to some of my gripes here. God damn. But anyways, this game doesn't, like, for the bosses, there is no, like, Dark Souls type health bars. None. They have the same health bars as enemies, which, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's like, you could have done more. You could have done it, and the majority of the bosses in this game are not that good. Like, Skagzilla is trash. Mad Mel is trash. Fucking the Destroyer is the biggest piece of garbage I've ever seen, and there's that. I think the Lance soldiers are probably my favorite enemies in the game, most likely, and I think Old Haven is like, what's that ad doing down there? Like I don't like what. This is not sponsored by Outer Worlds 2 by any means. I have no desire to play that game, so there's that. But yeah. And the driving in this game is very hit or miss. Like, it feels decent. It's just a bunch of decent shit in this game. But here's the problem. If you try to go over, like, some rocks, your car will get stuck. Like, legitimately stuck. And you will be pretty much fucked. And I have cussed the game out so many times when that happened. At that point, I just reload the game. What else? I was using the rocket launcher attachment. That shit doesn't barely any fucking damage. So there's that. Like, there's just no fucking splash damage on that. But yeah, let's start powering through this. The difficulty scaling in the beginning is very bullshit. Now at the end, it's kind of fair. It's the difficulty scaling gets a little bit better. I don't know if people will agree with me or not with that, but I do feel that like the difficulty scaling in like the first 2 quarters of the game is very like, you have to be running your ass off in the beginning, like, to get like a really jump start, So there's that. Side missions are just fetch quests galore. And I get it, but it's like, how many fetch quests can you do every single time? Every time. The areas in this game are so goddamn boring to look at. Like, I'm so glad Borderlands 2 and the rest of the series expands upon their areas, and Borderlands 1 just only has dry, arid Badlands. And at the very end, you get the salt flats slash, snowy part, which is probably the best part of the game, period. Even though the story fucking sucks. But yeah. What else? Oh my god, the farming in this game is terrible. Like, if you want to get, like, the Bulldog shotgun, for example, like the orange Bulldog shotgun, yeah, good luck. You're not going to get it. Because the farming is just straight up terrible, and Google just cannot give me a straight fucking answer for whatever reason. And the level progression sucks. Now, I'm not going to, like, the level progression doesn't really suck before you're level 40. Now, well, I don't know this, because, again, on my very first playthrough, I think I beat it and just never touched it again, so I was level 30-something. But yeah, like, I feel like even on a second playthrough, which is supposed to up the difficulty and make you get more XP, and you're like level 40, I still think it would probably be fucking slow. Maybe I am wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong. But overall, Borderlands 1, I respect it, but guys, it is just not that good. It's just not that good. No matter what I think of the DLCs, it's not going to influence what I think about the base game in general. So there's that. But yeah. Now, would I love a remake of this game? I could see it happen. Like, I would like to see it happen. But like a legit ground up remake would be very nice for this game. Like, with the farming style of Borderlands 2. And I feel like if Borderlands 1 and 2 just merged together, I think would be a great game. But yeah, it is what it is. I have no desire to play this game ever again. So yeah, that second character Mordecai playthrough is probably never gonna happen. I just need to constantly remind myself, hey man, you might not want to replay this game, because, and also, this game is short. This game is so goddamn short, and it might be for the rest of the series as well. Maybe not for 3 or 4, but I think this game's main story, like, was super duper short. Like, even though, excuse me, I did explain this in the beginning of part 6, but it's such a short game. Like, you're at the rack mine, the rack hive or whatever, for like 1 hour, and then the next hour you're fighting the destroyer. Like, it's very short. And again, the story is bare bones, which is probably the most disappointing thing, to be honest, because it's honestly just a bunch of text. So yeah. Also, the mini-map that they include in the remaster is not my cup of tea. I don't like those type of mini-maps. I like what Borderlands 2 did better. But yeah. Let's move on to Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is easy S. It just doesn't get any better. Borderlands 2, to me, it's nostalgia. No. This game is literally like a perfect sequel. It cannot get any better than this. Oh, well, I like the tone of the first game, but it doesn't mean it's better. Okay. The game was pretty fucking boring. But Borderlands 2, holy shit, man. I love this game. Like, I love everything about it. I love the areas. I love the bosses. The story is phenomenal. The gameplay is a massive improvement. Everything I just mentioned is fixed within this game. And yeah, Borderlands 2, honestly, to me, might be the most perfect game that's probably been ever made. You know, games like Half-Life 2 and, you know, my Silent Hills and all that stuff, they have some flaws and annoyances I have with them, but Borderlands 2, I really have nothing bad to say about this game. This game might as well be my favorite game ever made. The DLCs are not only goated, but are some of the best DLCs you will ever play in a fucking video game. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Vault Hunters in Borderlands 1. It's a decent pair. they're a decent pair. Like Brick, I like Brick. Lilith was my first character. I think she might be the best character in the game, but you know, that's really up for debate. Mordecai, he can be, I feel like he would be good, and I really wanted to play as him because to get, if you get headshots with him, he is just a monster. But here's the thing, I mainly care about action skills, and if your action skill sucks, I don't want to play as you. I don't. Okay? Roland's turret is complete trash. I'm sorry, but it just is. Axton is a million times better. Yeah. Roland walked so Axton could fucking sprint, okay? Now, I don't know which one is worse, Bloodwing or Roland's turret. I don't know. But there's only, like, maybe 2 characters I can ever see myself playing. I mean, actually, obviously, I can probably play any of them, but you know what I mean. Borderlands 2 is a bit of the same thing, but the characters are a tiny bit better in this game. Like, no, actually, way better. Axton is amazing. Salvador's fucking broken as hell. Zero is good once you get his build done. And Maya can be good, but I'm not the biggest fan of her action skill. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Phase Walk with Lilith is better than Maya's telekinesis. Like, Maya's skill is honestly the least interesting shit ever. I don't care how good she is. She is terrible against raid bosses. I don't care. Gage is not that good either. She actually might be the worst in the game. Not saying she's bad, because there's never been a bad Vault Hunter. Never. But there is weak sauce ones. Her robot is just super weak, even if you really dedicate your build on that. And Krieg is really good, I guess, but I'm not a fan of Krieg. I'm sorry, I'm just not. But you have to take my word on this, and I don't want to spoil anything, but Borderlands 2 is just perfection. It really is. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. And sorry for not putting a lewd S tier for Borderlands 2. I'm sorry. Borderlands 3 sequel. Borderlands 3 sequel is... I've only beaten it once, but as of right now, it's going in A. I'm going to try and piece this thing together without spoiling what this game is. This game is the bridge between 1 and 2, I guess. Overall, I did think this game was great, but I just didn't see myself replaying this game as much as Borderlands 2. And this game is essentially like a side game. It really is. Hold on. But it doesn't mean it's bad. There is a lot of cool shit in this game. Like, a new weapon type that they add is so good, and I really would like to get my hands on one in my next playthrough. I think this game's better than everyone in Borderlands 1 as well. I don't remember the story in this game. I can take a guess probably what it is, but I thought it was good. Some of the bosses were good. I have not played the DLCs for the pre-sequel. And I've played all the DLCs for Borderlands 2, by the way. If you want to know... also, I forgot to mention Cromrax in Borderlands 1, which I didn't even know existed in Borderlands 1, the first ever raid boss. I thought that shit started in 2, but from the looks of it, Cromrax looks like a pretty bullshit boss. Not because he's so higher level, but because he just has a fuckload of health. So there's that. But anyways, back to pre-sequel. This game is just great. This game's great. I do remember the areas in this game were really fucking good. Just as good as 2's. And visually stunning. Probably the most visually appealing Borderlands game, to be honest. Even better than the newer ones, to be honest. But yeah. I got really nothing to say because I don't really remember much of pre-sequel. I really don't. And the Vault Hunters, from what I've read and seen, are also good. So there's that. But yeah, that's all I got to say for pre-sequel. You know, great game. Great game. Just not as good as 2, obviously. Tales from the Borderlands. This game, I'm... Where it stands... Placeholder. I'm gonna put Tales in S. It's not really gold standard, but it is S. From what I remember from this game, and I want to go in as blind as possible when I do replay, because this is essentially going to be a blind playthrough again. There's some games that I have replayed that I don't remember jack shit from. Like, Dark Souls 2, I remembered some stuff, so that was like a kind of blind playthrough. But this game, I don't remember jack shit. I know it's a Telltale game. I guess it plays like The Walking Dead and Telltale games and stuff. I will be getting the PS4 version of this game because when I played, I don't know if you know, but I played Wolf Among Us and beat it on a 360. Got it for a cheap price because PS4 versions are like fucking ridiculously hard to find for whatever reason. Frame rate drops galore on that game, so I'm gonna try my best and play. And this game was made after fucking Wolf Among Us, and I'm like, god damn. Ooh, nope. So I'm gonna try and get my hands on a PS4 copy of this game, because I do not want to deal with the frame drops at all. Could I deal with it? Yeah, but it really takes you out of it sometimes. So, yeah, there's that. I feel like Minecraft story mode fucking runs better on 360 than it did with Wolf Among Us. There's just certain games that just don't run well on that console. But Tales from the Borderlands, the main reason I put it in S is I remember the story just being probably the best in the series. I don't know for sure, but I have to replay this game. I have to. God, I gotta replay it. I might not even do a series on it, but my God, I can't wait to replay it. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But yeah. Borderlands 3. Ooh boy. Borderlands 3. One of my most anticipated games ever. And to me, it delivered pretty much most of the things I wanted. And again, I'm not really gonna spoil things, but I've only beaten this game once, legit. And I have done a little bit of other stuff. If you don't know, Mr. Brady aka my dad, is also a big Borderlands fan. Probably bigger Borderlands fan than me, but I don't agree since he has trash taste. But he played the shit out of Borderlands 3. He maxed out essentially did pretty much everything. I think he even got the platinum for it. So there's that. Anyways, whatever. What do I think of this game personally? I think it's a great game. I think it's kind of amazing. But the main thing that holds this game back is this game's story and the game's areas. I'm not a fan of the areas in this game. They're way too big. They're not memorable. And here's the thing. Borderlands 2, and I don't blame them. Like, it's the same thing with Dying Light 1. They busted the meanest nut when making this game. They did. They really did. And even back then, I knew Borderlands 3 wasn't going to be as good, but I gave it a shot anyways. But essentially, Vault Hunters in this game are pretty good. Not as good as a selection as, like, 2, or hell, even 1, honestly. No, better than 1. This game is just... What am I even trying to say? But I will say, Borderlands 3 has, without a doubt, the best movement and gameplay of the series. I know what people are going to say now, but I just feel like Borderlands 3's gameplay was super duper fast. It was super duper snappy. The guns felt good, and it's essentially Phantom Pain done right. You know, might not be the biggest fan of the story. At least it's cohesive. At least it makes somewhat fucking sense. But story is, gameplay is truly fucking great. Why do I not think it's as good as Borderlands 2? Again, areas are nowhere near as memorable. Bosses are nowhere near as memorable. The story, a lot of people despise the story in this game. I understand it, but I thought the story was very, like, I didn't think it was really that bad. Actually, I thought it was pretty damn decent when I first played it. Again, I only played it once. It goes to show how much Borderlands 2 is leagues to the moon better. Just as a game. I mean, the gameplay is better in 3. But as a game, though, you gotta look at these, like, is it the better game, though? Is it the better overall package? You know? So there's that. But I didn't think it was bad. There is some garbage moments, I will admit. There is. This was mainly just after I beat the game and just looked at some videos, and as time passed, I'm like, yeah, the story wasn't that good, and it's pretty sad. But if I did pick up on this when it first came out, I'd probably drop it to a fucking B, if I'm going to be honest. I really kind of would. So there's that. Also, the DLCs are not memorable either. There's like 1 or 2 DLCs I can name, maybe 3, but the rest of them are not worth a damn in my mind. So there's that. And farming in this game just seems weird, and I don't really care. I didn't really care to farm in this game. I don't know if it was just the bosses just not being super fun to fight, but I don't know. But I still think Borderlands 3 is a great game, and I will be replaying that at some point as well with a different Vault Hunter. New Tales from the Borderlands. You know, I don't even consider this to be even a Borderlands game. And if I'm correct, I think this game might be worse than Veilguard. I haven't played either games, but this game, like, I think when I heard about it, I'm like, oh my god, a new Tales from the Borderlands! And I don't think Telltale made this, right? I don't think they did. By the way, where is Wolf Among Us 2? Where is it? Holy shit, you guys are like, this shit better be phenomenal, and you better be like in a Silk Song situation where you're constantly just improving, and it better be like a 10 out of 10. It better be. Because I'm going to play it. I'm going to buy it day one. I don't care if it's $80. I'm going to play it. We've been waiting like 12, 13 years. It better come out next year. It better. But anyways, new Tales from the Borderlands. Did not play it. I'm glad I didn't. Because this piece of shit is garbage. You're fired. Randy Pitchford, get your ass out of here. No one likes you anymore. No one does. When I say this game is most likely worse than Veilguard, I mean it. I mean it. Oh, boy. Like, Jesus Christ, this game is terrible. God damn. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, but god damn, it's still pretty bad. Alright, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I haven't played this game either. I don't know why, but it seems like people don't really like this game very much, and it's not for the reason you think, but I'm going to make the bold decision and say it's probably most likely better than Borderlands 1. I see myself, from the gameplay I've seen, I don't know. This is a very, like, pending thing. I think I'll still try out Wonderlands at some point later on down the road. But yeah. I just see myself liking this a lot more than Borderlands 1. Hell, I'll probably put this game in B, but I'm not. This is kind of a placeholder, so don't take it. This is not, like, final, right? Again, I don't know. But it looks like it could be fun. Let's try and wrap this up. Borderlands 4. Look, I've played it. Look, I'm just going to get this right out of the way. I watched Mr. Brady play this and beat this. So essentially, I've played the game. And I have played a little bit. And I will do a playthrough on the channel at some point. Maybe partial, but I don't know. Borderlands 4, I just feel like doesn't need to exist. I don't know why, but I just feel like it should have just ended after 3. I feel like Borderlands 3 kind of did everything it wanted, and I feel like we could have had this really good trilogy. Excuse me. And that would have been it for Borderlands. And I would have been happy with that. I would have been happy. But, no, they decided to make Borderlands 4. This was after the Borderlands movie came out, which the Borderlands movie is fucking garbage. Okay, that fucking shit was trash. Okay, that shit might be worse than New Tales of the Borderlands. But Borderlands 4, it's B. I'm giving this game every benefit of the doubt it can, because I thought this game was going to suck. I had zero desire to play it because just how uninterested I was. And I don't know if it was just bad marketing, but I feel like the teaser for this game 1 year ago, this game was revealed 1 year ago, and it just the final game feels like completely different than what they were kind of marketing for. Maybe that was just bad marketing, period. But this game definitely went through like development hell with the whole 2K and Embracer Group shit, and you do see the Embracer woke stuff in 3 and 4, but it doesn't really affect my opinion on it that much. I hate woke just as much as the next person, but shit like in Spider-Man 2 or something, that shit doesn't affect me. Like, I notice it, but it doesn't affect me. Last of Us 2, for example, that's a whole different story, okay? But Borderlands 4 is essentially the opposite of 3. Again, I had no desire to play this game. I really didn't. And I was getting, like, ridiculed and, like, how are you not excited? This looks great. It looked good. The gameplay looked good. And the gameplay is good. It's like, I don't know. I just didn't want to play it, you know? There's still DLC in the Cummings, I guess, like a new Vault Hunter, that Cash or whatever his name is. That motherfucker looks amazing, and I really would like to play as him. First of all, Vault Hunters, Borderlands 4. I think this is something that many people have just kind of forgiven, but I think this game with the Vault Hunters have the biggest role in terms of, like, characters and stuff. And it's not like you, for example. It's the characters themselves. And I think people kind of forgiven this, but I'm just going to be honest. The cast of characters, the Vault Hunters in Borderlands 4 are bottom of the barrel worst in the series. Okay, I don't care, okay? The only one being, like, the saving, like, okay, maybe it's not as bad, but I think their designs are fucking terrible. I think their designs are trash. And, yeah. Yeah. Story was good. Better than 3. Main villain was good as well. Also, main villain of Borderlands 2, you know. One of the most iconic villains in video games, period. It will never be touched. That's how you do a villain, okay? Far Cry 7, whenever that comes out, take fucking notes, okay? But, man, Borderlands 4 is essentially just the opposite of 3. In Borderlands 3, the story was very mediocre, in my opinion. Also, the pacing in Borderlands 3's story, oh my god, was it bad. Man, it was pretty bad. So, if you do play Borderlands 3, be prepared, because you might want to get through that fucking story ASAP. But Borderlands 4's story, I thought was pretty good too. Not perfect, but just, good. But the gameplay, I thought, was a step back. I think this game's gameplay is a lot slower and kind of gives me Mortal Kombat 12 vibes, like how we went from 11 to 12. I know a lot of people say, oh, 11's gameplay and combat was slow. No, but Borderlands 3 was like a whole nother level, so it's like Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 combat to, now you want to fucking switch to goddamn something else, okay. Like Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 to 12. And Mortal Kombat 12's combat is slow and just, it feels like you have to press your thumb, like, extremely hard down on the buttons and shit. So there's that. I mean, this is going on way too long, but yeah. But other than that, I thought the gameplay was a step back. The UI, oh my god, the UI is fucking bad. It's bad in this game. What am I getting here? This North Korea propaganda. We gotta wrap this up. Also, Borderlands 4 is open world. You can do whatever you want in this game. You can do whatever you want. though I did like it, I don't think it was the direction it should have gone in. I don't. And what will Borderlands 5 be? I don't know. We'll have to see in 5 years. 5, 6 years. 2030, 2031, I guarantee. And I hope they bring it back to the Borderlands 2 style of atmosphere. Because I will say 3 and 4 do have a way different atmosphere than 1 and 2. I know 1 and 2 had vastly different atmospheres and stuff like that, but, you know, they were similar. 3 and 4, 1 and 2, different worlds. But yeah, I don't think the open world stuff was the direction to go. I hope this game does get some good DLC. I don't really care about the events. I don't. Farming in this game looks like a lot better. What is this? God damn. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Share it with friends you enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time, whenever I can. Twisms.